Hey, just gonna do a walkthrough on Mint.com and how I've been using it to save money over the past few years. I'm also gonna give some small financial advice to save money over time. So what prompted this video? I watched a few of the popular Mint reviews on YouTube and it didn't seem like any one of them actually used it. It was just their opinions on it after reading a review on some tech website. And the advice, well, there was none. Now, what you're going to see is my actual account and how I use it every day to limit my purchases. And over time, I was able to save up a sizable amount of cash just by telling myself that I didn't need to buy random crap. Now, I'm going to be completely honest up front, and Mint is not for everyone. And to put it bluntly, you're going to have a stable source of income to use the website to its full potential. And there are a few other requirements that I'm going to list. So, one, you need a job. I don't really care if it's a 9 to 5 or you sell drugs for a living. You just have to make some money. And two, uh, you need to pay with a debit or a credit card when you buy stuff. This will make it easier to track what you spend your hard-earned money on. And if you pay with cash, then you have to manually enter in your transactions, which really defeats the purpose of using Mint to track your spending habits anyway. Now, the last rule is that you accept what Mint tells you about your spending habits, and you shouldn't really do any mental gymnastics and convince yourself that you didn't spend $300 on fast food. Now, you can accept that you spend $300, and you should look for ways to reduce that amount. I really just have those three rules. So let's get started by logging into Mint. And if you don't have an account, then you have to sign up for a new account by clicking that button right there. And if you're new to internet banking, then you'll need to sign up for your bank's online account access. For example, if you have a Chase account, you need to set up your account at the bank, and then you'll give Mint access to your account so it can download your balance and your daily transactions. For the most part, internet banking is extremely safe. You can't withdraw money using it, and it's not going to pop out of your printer, for one thing. You can transfer money between your accounts at the same bank. For example, you can transfer $100 between your checking and your savings account, and rarely can you set up a link between two different banks. And those transactions take a long time to clear and are closely monitored. And I transfer a lot of money between my savings account and my investment account, and I do get calls sometimes to see if it was really me doing it. So they're pretty good with that kind of stuff. Now, assuming you have a Mint account and have set up online access to your bank, your homepage should look something like this. Now, to the left side of my screen, you'll see an overview of what I have linked to my Mint account. My general rule is to only have accounts that you use on a regular basis. Our goal here is to look for ways to save money, not look at your 401k account or your retirement account that you can't even access until you're 65 or older. And the main account should be your spending account. My main account is my Chase account, as you can see here, and I tried to keep the minimal amount here to avoid any monthly fees. At one point in time, I used to be a college student, and let me tell you, eliminating those fees was probably the best decision I ever made while I was at college. Now, you can set up an account at your local credit union, but for me, it didn't provide me with enough options. Fees that I limit from my main spending account include the minimum account balance, which for Chase is $1,500, a day, which is completely ridiculous. And if you don't have that, they charge you $10 a month. And the fee that they got me most of the time with is what they call an overdraft fee. And each time I overdrafted my account, they would charge me $34, which I didn't have. And $34 to a college student was quite a bit of money, and I regularly got these fees, so it put a damp on my college life. Now, eliminating these two fees should be your first priority. You shouldn't pay money to use your bank account, and you should have a sufficient balance to cover a month or so expenses. So just to limit ever getting an overdraft. So on the topic of credit unions, why didn't I pick one? Because, well, they don't have ATMs everywhere. And two, I couldn't set up a HSA account at the local credit union. I'm not going to go too deep on the HSA account, but I will say that I do use it to reduce my taxable income every year while saving up for a medical emergency. Now, the other bank account I got linked is my high interest savings account from Ally. At the time of the video, they pay 0.84%, which is one of the highest you can get. For comparison, a Chase savings account pays 1/100th of that amount. So you can see that you're getting 100 times as much money as you would if you had a Chase savings account. Now, I really don't use this account for anything but to earn interest on money I want to invest anyway, but had no idea what to buy. And since you don't really gain interest on money in your investment account that lays idle, why not make some interest on the money while you decide on what stocks to buy. My other account is my PayPal account, which I used to buy and sell stuff online. Nowadays, it usually has a zero balance, and this is done to prevent me from buying too much crap online. So to wrap it up, one, have a main account where you do all your buying with, and have a high interest account so you can watch your money grow and still be able to get into it anytime you want. Now, eliminating those fees, the next thing you should do is create a budget. And if you're new, you should create a budget based on what you think you usually spend a month. And you'll be surprised at how wrong you are after the first month or so. Now, let's take a look at my budget. You're probably wondering why rent and the normal bills are not part of my budget. And as a general rule, I don't include anything I have to pay for that I have little to no control of the amount. And I compensate for this by reducing my income here. As you can see, so far this month I made $3,700, but my income is only set at $2,500. And the difference is usually what I pay for rent and the internet bill, or regular utilities. So, and when we're gonna look down at these categories here that I set budgets for, the only real trick to saving money is to reduce the amount of money you spend on particular categories. For me, my fast food plus restaurant spending was just out of control. It was nearly $450 a month when I first started using Mint, and it's quite embarrassing. So what I did is I started gradually reducing the amount of money I would spend eating out by a certain amount, and for me it was $25. And I forced myself to stay under that. So each month I reduced it by another $25, and then over time you see that I have reduced it to what I have now, which is $130. It's much easier that way, and I don't really miss it at all. I did spend more money on groceries, however, as a result. But overall, I probably saved more than $250 a month. Now, I applied this strategy to the other categories in my budget, and the end result was just absolutely amazing. I went from saving, I don't know, a few $100s a month to saving over $1,500, and sometimes actually breaking $2,000 a month. And then if you're good at math, that's $18,000 to $24,000 extra saving a year, and was just by eliminating, crap, stuff I didn't need.